What is up, my loves? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new here, it's damn it. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Matthews here. I didn't really plan that intro out fully in my mind. I just knew that I looked really adorable when I did that pose. I just knew it was really cute. I'm not gonna edit this either. So, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Matthews here. We're doing another girl talk, girl chit chat video. I am in my bathroom, which is like my sacred place, my favorite place. And I have got to turn this shit down. I have some healing frequency stuff going on in my ears, which I love and prefer to have. So today we're continuing the conversation that we had yesterday, which I uploaded, and it took a couple hours to upload. Okay, I'm trying to express my amazement. I airdropped the video from my iPhone to my computer. Over 2 hours long. It airdropped seamlessly. Never happened before. I uploaded it to YouTube. It uploaded seamlessly. Only took a couple hours. I'm amazed. It was like over 8 gigabytes, the video. Easy. So I'm feeling blessed. Yesterday's conversation got cut off. Obviously, if you watched the whole thing, which you should. Yesterday's conversation got cut off, and I wanted to continue it. And I also wanted to continue with some skincare stuff. Definitely, my face needs some TLC. I have not done a lot of skincare lately. I have like my normal things that I do for skincare, like my face wash that has niacinamide in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there are some aspects of the routine that happen all of the time. And then there are other aspects like a mask, a little exfoliation moment, maybe some retinol that don't necessarily happen all the time. And so I was looking at myself and I'm like, my pores are a little bit big, which is kind of like a problem area for me. I have not been focusing on vanity. I have been focusing, like the past 6 months, I have not been focusing on vanity. I have been focusing on my mind. I have been focusing on feeling safe and secure. I've been focusing on business. So we have not really, it hasn't been a huge priority for me, but it's feeling like a priority for me right now. Especially, I don't know what God put in this Leo season. I don't know what God put inside of this Leo season, but the Leo season is Leo seasoning. Like it's doing what I need it to do. And I'm really feeling myself. And, you know, a part of that is showing up for yourself, taking care of yourself. So of course you have Leo season where you want to be seen and you're a star and you're a diva. And then you have this fucking, you have Mercury and Virgo, and then like Mars and Jupiter. I'm pretty sure the 2 planets that are in Gemini right now. So if Mars and Jupiter are in Gemini, then they're being ruled by Mercury and Virgo. And Virgo is like the maintenance of the stardom, you know what I'm saying? Virgo is the maintenance. Virgo is the thing that goes on behind the scenes so that Leo can look and be what Leo is and does. And, you know, I'm doing a great job. Let's continue. So what we're doing today is continuing our conversation that we were having yesterday. And we're also, I've got a mask on. This mask is like 5 years old, bitch. This mask is as old as my business. And I'm sorry for calling you bitch, but like I really that's the best way that I could describe to you as my homegirl exactly what is the function and purpose of that? Like a term of endearment. sometimes bitch is really a term of endearment. And I'm going to reclaim that. And I'm going to stop apologizing for it either. Because sometimes if you're my homegirl, then you really are my bitch. Like, and you can't just say girl. Sometimes you really have to say bitch because it is slightly offensive, but like, I need you to pay attention. I have to say something slightly offensive because you really need to pay attention to what I just said. Like, this face mask is almost 5 years old, bitch. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. So I've got this face mask, which literally, I'm not kidding when I say that it's 5 years old. This was from, I'm pretty sure, Ancient Cosmetics. I'm pretty sure. And I got this in like 2019, okay? I don't recommend using old ass skincare, but that's kind of what we're doing. Because I don't know about you, but I am one of those women who, when they were younger, like, your family members or people don't know what to get you as a gift, and so they get you face masks and stuff like that. So for a lot of holidays and Christmases, I'm always being given face masks. So there's like an abundance of skincare shit that I just have not gone through over the years. So I found this under the sink because I was looking for one clay mask, couldn't find it, found this one. I was like, perfect. I really want to use retinol tonight. And this has a little bit of an exfoliant. It's like a mint something mask. So there's a little bit of exfoliation that I'm going to get from, you know, taking it off. I'm going to exfoliate a little bit while I take it off. And then I'm going to put this face mask, which is also like 5 years old. It's almost done. And it has been in my fridge for like 5 years. I think that fridge is like 5 years old. So I'm going to take this off. There's going to be a little light exfoliation moment. I did a little extraction. I needed to extract something on my cheek here, not like a pimple. I don't know if you would call it a whitehead. I don't know. But there's just a little something there. So I extracted that using 2 Q-tips actually earlier. I learned that years ago when I was getting a facial in Atlanta, Georgia. They used Q-tips to do extractions. So I did a little extraction, put on the face mask, and now it's time to take that off. Then we're going to not do that. We are going to do this. We're going to use this, which is also very fucking old. This says you're supposed to use this in 6 months. I was never going to use all of this in 6 months. I barely use this. It's the Mount Lai Calming Herbal Repair Facial Massage Balm. And it's literally a facial massage balm. So I dropped the little spatula. I think the color has changed. Oh my God. I don't remember the last time I used this. I thought it was like purple. I thought it used to be more purple, but maybe it wasn't, but also maybe it was. I don't know. This is very old, but it's just this massage balm. So I'm going to use that, and then I'm going to use some of my Gua Sha products. I'm going to do a little facial massage for the girl. And then I'm going to do this face mask. And then when I'm done with that face mask, then I'm going to put on some retinol cream. So I'm a little bit scared because this is going to give me a light exfoliation, which I wanted. I knew that I was not going to use anything with glycolic acid. Do you guys remember last year I did a video on like where I was talking about buying like this like Ulta haul basically during like a sale that they had or something, and I got like 2 of like everything. I got like 2 retinol creams, and then I got like 2 of this glycolic acid peel that I really love. It's so good. I have not opened it once. I've not used it once. I use the retinol, but I haven't been using it frequently, consistently. So I knew that I didn't want to do that. I have these glow peel pads, which are also probably like 5 years old, which is another glycolic acid peel type thing. So I'm definitely not using that because I'm using the retinol. So long story short, I'm doing a light exfoliation. I'm scared to do the light exfoliation with the retinol, but the retinol, it's not a really high percentage retinol. My retinol cream, it's not a super high percentage night cream. So I think it's gonna be okay, especially after I give it time, give my skin time after the exfoliation. Maybe 30 minutes of time, but it's time. And I skimmed something online that said 30 minutes is kind of maybe okay. So I wouldn't recommend this. I'm not an esthetician, but it's what I'm doing because I really want to use the cream. Like I really feel strongly to use the cream, so I'm gonna use the cream. But another cream that I have, so good, is this. It's the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. So fucking good. So fucking good. 10 out of 10 would recommend. It's amazing. I got this little one. It's almost out. I got it like 6 months ago when I got everything else. Oh, I'm getting the big one because this cream, amazing, wonderful. It says on the package that because of like some of the ingredients or whatever, it's like 24-hour daily lightweight hydrating formula. Provides water replenishment throughout the day by absorbing moisture from the air for continuous comfort and moisture balance. This is telling the truth. It's telling the truth. When I use this, my skin, it's like so soft, so supple, I'm so hydrated. This is amazing. But I don't want to use it tonight. I'm going to use my retinol. So let's jump into it, and then we're going to talk. We're going to talk about what we were talking about in the last conversation. And a part of me feels like, oh my God, hurry up, get to the point. And another part of me is just like, listen, you don't come to a girl talk chit chat to jump in, get to the point, and then get out of here. Okay? This is a hangout. This is a chit chat. This is a kiki. This is you and me. This is us. We're chilling. We're not in a rush. We're not in a hurry. Pause the video, get a snack, order some food, get your face mask stuff, and then we can do skincare together. And then we can talk back and forth. You can comment in the comment section. I'll comment back. What's that? Phrases that we used to use in the 2000s and 2010s. Talk to me because I talk back. Seriously, talk to me in the comment section. Tell me what you think. Respond to every single point. Fuck it, I'll reply. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're taking our time. We're not rushing because it's skincare and it's self-care. And this is supposed to be replenishing. And it's supposed to be soothing. And I got some Divine Feminine 432 hertz frequencies going. You know, we're not rushing. We're not forcing. Oops, I accidentally clicked an ad and stopped my music. Okay, so. Let's jump into it, shall we? Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is take this mask off. Now, I've got this. So usually when I'm gonna do a mask and it dries down, you just take the mask with your water. I'm warming up the hot water, but you just press it onto your face. If you have a mask, if it's a clay mask or something that's like dried down onto your skin and got a little bit hardened, a little bit crusty, you know what I'm saying? Instead of just taking your towel and going sawing at your face, you can just put the towel on it and kind of soften that product up. So I'm gonna put the towel on it. I'm gonna get it warm. And then I'm gonna put the towel on it just to get the mask wet again, soften that product up, and then I will use a little bit of those remnants to do just a light exfoliation. Really light exfoliation, but I'm really gonna focus on my cheeks because that's where my pores are the most visible. So I just wanna make sure that I am really properly getting a nice clean. I'm not going too crazy around the parts that I just waxed, even though exfoliating is good, of course. Okay, so while I'm doing this, where did we leave off? Can you even hear me? Okay, let's see. I got this towel because I do not like water running all over the place. The next thing that I need to get is one of those little cuffs so that the water doesn't, you know, drip down my arm. Anyway, so in the last video, I was starting to talk about like being my own soulmate, and the perfect way to express what I mean by being my own soulmate, I'm gonna use a story. So years ago, there was a man, and on my channel, we refer to that man and everything that happened with that man as the incident, the thing that changed everything, like the death of Christ. Like the death of Christ. There's life before the incident and there's life after the incident, right? The world was never the same. So this guy, the incident, how can I explain where this story takes place on the timeline? Let's just say it was 2019, right? And I had seen the guy from the incident for the last time. I didn't know that it was the last time, and I was kind of like just reconciling what happened, processing. I got a reading done from a woman who was my friend at the time. And in this reading that I had done, we were kind of talking about things that could have been in the relationship and the connection. I don't remember how we even got there in the conversation, but we were talking about the ancestors and basically how like our ancestors collectively, my ancestors, his ancestors, they were just like, we do not support this union. Like, this is not a good relationship. This is not a good connection. And I remember the conversation because of that, because it really hurt my feelings and it made me feel like I'm not good enough. Like, his ancestors don't like me. And honestly, I'd hit the bitch that was gonna you know what? If I was you, I'd hit my ass too. But what I'm not actually saying like, it wasn't like, oh, his ancestors hate your guts and they want you to die. It was just like, whatever. Ancestors didn't support the relationship. Let's move on. So we're talking about the connection. We're talking about the future. We're talking about things that could have happened. And she's like, oh, I'm seeing that you guys could have like started a foundation together to like help Black people, help the community. And I remember I was so devastated. I was devastated because I wanted to have a baby with this man. And I was devastated because I wanted this future with this man. This man was the first person who I ever had like a soulmate connection with. And not just like a soulmate connection, but like a soulmate connection while I was also tapped into my psychic gifts. So, you know, that's a Raven. It's the future that I can fucking see. So this is the first connection that I ever had in my life where I can see our future together. And so I'm seeing all of these things, and I really wanted that life experience. I really wanted what I saw. Spoiler alert, the amazingness that I saw, there's a concept in the Bible. Double for your trouble. The greatness that I saw is not nearly as much as the greatness that is available to me now. But I wasn't aware of that. So it's like this idea and concept of like, you lost something, you suffered a loss, you went through something, I moved you through something, God, angels, universe, your higher self, I moved you through something. It was incredibly difficult and it was incredibly painful, and you lost this thing that was precious to you. But my promise to you is that you will receive double for your trouble. You will receive more than enough. I'm going to give you this and then some. So my vision for my life now is much more expanded and amazing. So that it's, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because I don't want to come across like, oh my God, the instant, it was the best that my life was gonna get, because it's really not. Anyway, so she was talking to me about the future, and you guys could have opened a foundation and blah, blah, blah. And I just felt so defeated. And I felt so much like I had lost, because my perception of myself was that I would not be able to achieve that same level of greatness and blah, 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 blah if I did not have that man in my life. Like, I automatically in my brain thought like, oh my God, like, if somebody is going to start a foundation for something, then it's obviously going to be him. I just need a moment of silence, okay? I just need a moment of silence. A moment of silence for all of the girls out there who have one way or another, for one reason or another, put a man on a pedestal, and then later, as they continue to move throughout life, realized so much. This is the same man that I talked about in that podcast episode where, I think it was a podcast episode, I don't remember. Long story short, for some reason, I just feel to be mindful of the way that I speak. Not because somebody's gonna do something to me if I say something wrong, but because for some reason I just feel like being mindful of the way that I speak. Let me think of what I'm trying to say. When we had the conversation, I felt devastated, and I felt like if somebody's gonna form a foundation and somebody's gonna help Black people, it's gonna be him. Because after all, he has a PhD. He is a doctor, because that means something. That means everything. That means that he is more qualified, and I'm the college dropout, right? That wasn't my exact thought process, but if we're gonna sum it up so that we can get along with our story, then that's what we're gonna go with. So I really struggled with that, and it just didn't make me feel good about myself. And all of these years later, my perception of the world and my perception of myself is much different. And the woman who follows her dreams, faces her demons, overcomes her traumas, learns how to heal herself and master her mindset so that she can lead her community, lead her company. The woman who is the generational curse breaker of her family line. There's thoughts that are going in my head that if I could go back in time to myself in 2014, I would say, you're thinking small when you need to be thinking big. I have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of goals. I have a very large vision. I just have a vision for my community and one foundation. Let's just say the dream is bigger than a foundation, okay? The dream is bigger than a foundation. And over the years, as I've healed and as I have just learned more about myself and my power and become more confident in myself, I realized that like, I hate dropping stuff. I just realized that like, just because a man is not in my life, just because I'm not going to be with a man, just because I'm not going to get a specific future with a specific guy that looks a specific way, it does not mean that I'm not going to have a spectacular life. It does not mean that I'm not going to do all the shit that I set out to do. It doesn't mean that there's not beauty available to me. And so when I say that I'm my own soulmate, what I mean is that he's not the magic, I'm the magic. He's not the mover and the shaker, I'm the mover and the shaker. And of course, two movers and shakers can come together in holy matrimony, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that men are irrelevant. I'm not saying that they can't do amazing things and that men can't add tremendous value into your life, because obviously I know that they can. But what I am saying is that when it comes to soulmates and when it comes to people and when it comes to relationships, I don't feel like, oh my God, if this guy is not my guy, then I'm gonna fucking die, because I'm the magic. If this guy is not my soulmate, I wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be jumping up for joy, but I also wouldn't fucking die. I also wouldn't fucking die, because I was made to have a beautiful life. And I'm going to have a beautiful life because I'm a woman who creates a beautiful life for herself, period. And that's what I meant when I said I am my own soulmate. I am the person that comes into my life and makes my life amazing. I am the person that brings my happily ever after into my life. To quote the Cheetah Girls, I don't want to be like Cinderella, sitting in a dark, cold, dusty ass cellar waiting for somebody else to come and set me free. I don't want to be like somebody who's waiting for a handsome prince to come and save me. I will survive on my own. What did they say? I don't want to be no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. So that's how I feel. That's my perspective. That is the perspective that I have developed. I am my own soulmate. I am the reason why my family and my life and my everything will be what it is. So even if the guy is not my soulmate, then I'm still gonna have an amazing marriage, and I'm still gonna have an amazing life, and I'm still gonna have an amazing family life, and I'm still gonna be deeply and completely blessed. And that's something that I learned. That is something that I learned. And that's what I was saying in the old video, in our last chat. And that's really it. Okay, how do we look? How do we feel? Good. This is much better. Okay. Got some acne that's clearing up here. Did I tell you guys that I'm on new medication? Which is like so good in the skin department. Okay. Okay. I have an earphone that fell and a spatula that fell. And I just do not want to get up to get it. I'm laughing because I just look so adorable. Okay. All right. One earphone and one spatula. That was a little bit hard to find because I have pajama pants on the floor. Okay. So, let me put that back in and then move this. And then close my robe. Yeah. Get comfortable. Okay. Things are so different. Things are so different for me. Like, I just keep having these moments where I'm just like, really fully understanding how much farther I am than I was last year, 6 months ago, at the beginning of this year. Like, it's just crazy. And I'm doing this before I do another mask because too much oil was not good for me. Well, I used to be a girl who had more oily skin, but that was like when I was 16 years old. So over the years, especially more as I've gotten into skincare, my skin has become more like normal, but I'm probably still more like oily, acne prone type vibe, you know? But if I'm not drinking enough water, then my skin can get dry, which is like so crazy. Okay. You just gotta basically slick the surface of your skin so that the tools can glide across more easily. So I'm kind of sitting here going like, what is it that I want to talk about? Now that I'm done explaining to you that I am my own soulmate, like, that kind of was it. Oh, well, we were going to talk about casual dating, and the truth, the God's honest truth, is that I recorded yesterday's video, and I was obviously being honest and authentic. And then I woke up yesterday, well, today, and I was just like wishing that I had my soulmate. And so it's really interesting how doing gua sha on your neck is like, because this is like technically not what you're supposed to do. Like, this is not the direction that you're supposed to go. But in a much more real sense, your neck is the first place that shows your age. And I'm 25, but this is preventative. And so you're not supposed to drag down on your neck. So I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not a professional with the gua sha. And it's sacrilege for me. It's sacrilege for me to roll anything down my neck. It's against the law, basically. So I guess we can talk about desire then, and how desire is a funny thing. Because, okay, so I was thinking about casual dating, right? And I texted one of my homegirls, which I still haven't responded to her. I love you and I'm sorry. I texted one of my homegirls, and I basically was just like, what if I told you that I was like getting on dating apps again? Like, and she has like Leo and Gemini energy, and she has Libra on the cusp of her 5th house. So like, you know, it's like right up her alley. And so I like texted her that. And so I was like thinking about getting on the dating apps. And then a thought popped into my head that was just like, who the hell said you needed a dating app? Because I don't particularly love dating apps. And I'm like, well, that's so true. And so today I went to Circle K. And Circle K is a store, like a convenience store, like 7-Eleven. For those of you who don't know what Circle K is. So I went to Circle K and I went to get some snacks. And when I was in Circle K, it was like a sausage fest. There were so many men inside of that Circle K. I've never seen that many. Like, the store was full. It was busy. And it was all men. And so first I walk up to the door, and then a man is walking in. So of course he holds the door open for me, and I'm like, thank you. Like, that's so nice. And I'm inside, I'm in line, I'm like standing with like all my fucking snacks. I got an abundance of snacks, okay? It was definitely a haul moment. Also, one of the snacks that I got was these like watermelon slice candies covered in chamoy. I don't remember when it was popular, but I think there were like videos, like mukbangs or whatever, all over social media. And it was like all about these like candies with chamoy and I think tahini. And I had really wanted to try them. So I was like, perfect, today's the perfect day to try them. So I got the fucking candies. And they're nasty. And I think that's sick. I think that's sick. I bought a bag of candies. It was like $7.99. Price was ridiculous. And it's gross. And you have the audacity for this to taste nasty? Like, no, I wouldn't say it tastes nasty like, oh, this is so repulsive. Like, it's like a candy snack. But the watermelon gummies, they don't taste like watermelon. Like, I thought it was gonna give like, you know, there's these like Mexican lollipops. First of all, pause. I love this because this is black obsidian, and I keep all of my gua sha stuff inside of my fridge. And at first it's cooling because it's cool, but it's like the combination of moving this around and just getting that blood flowing and circulating, combined with the fact that it's black obsidian, it's so warming. Like, my face feels warm. So love that. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And I've got some rose ones. I packed them up for a move. I think they're in my backpack in my I don't know what rose quartz gua sha stuff that I have. but I have something, and I'm pretty sure they are in, I know I just said it was against my religion to do this, but maybe I lied. Maybe I lied. I don't know what is going on with me, but I feel like such a, like, everything is like blowing with the wind. Jupiter in Gemini, Mercury in Virgo, Mars in Gemini, Saturn is in fucking Pisces. There's so much mutable sign energy in the sky right now. I feel it. Mutable, for those of you that don't know astrology, mutable is changeable. It depends on the environment. It depends on what's going on. And so they're really good at adapting, at growing and changing. And they do these for several different reasons. Like Pisces energy is going to adapt to create a vision, a dream, an idea, a fantasy, something creative that's going to take us into a new cycle. And Virgo energy is going to adapt, it's going to change depending on the environment that it's in, to create a schedule, to create habits, to make a plan and take action that supports them in achieving a goal, like that Piscean goal. And then Sagittarius energy is going to adapt, it's going to change, it's going to shift depending on the culture that it's in, depending on where it is, where it's never been before, because that's what Sagittarius wants to do. It wants to go to a place that it's never been before. It wants to experience it. It's Little Mermaid. I want to be where the people are. I want to know what it's like. What is this? This looks like a brush to me, and it's not a brush, it's a fucking fork. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Sagittarius energy. So there's a lot of changing and there's a lot of shifting. And Gemini energy, well, Sagittarius is also about like education, it's about spirituality, but Gemini energy is also like an educated energy. I'm gonna associate it with like our early childhood life, third house energy, our siblings, it's air sign energy. So it's all about communication, and it's really just about learning. Gemini energy is curious. Gemini wants to talk about it. They want to learn something new. They want to talk about what they learned. They just want to yap, okay? So they're just, you know what? That actually makes so much sense, because I'm in such a talkative mood, which is like totally in alignment with all of this Gemini stuff that's going on in the sky right now. So basically, with all of this mutable energy, it's like so, I feel like it's so hard to make up my mind. I know one thing for sure, and that's that I need more attention. And that makes sense because the sun is in Leo. I know one thing for sure is that I need more attention. But the means to getting that attention, it's like changing my mind every 5 seconds. I go to Circle K and there's men everywhere. And there's one man in particular who, he smells like the strongest weed that you have ever smelled in your fucking life. Like, I was feet away from him. Before I even got that close to him, I could smell the weed on him. Good shit. I know it was. That shit was strong as fuck. So he's there, and he's just standing there, you know, waiting in line, whatever. And I don't say anything to him. But do you sometimes know, like, you could have a connection with someone? And by connection, I don't necessarily mean like soulmate connection, like I thought he was my husband, but like a casual dating connection, you know? Okay, I really like gua shawing my forehead because, and I think this is like a really good thing for like wrinkliness. My forehead is so tight. My forehead is so tight. Like, not in my eyebrows, but like up here, my forehead is so tight. Like, which is like really good. Like, people pay money to have a forehead as tight as mine. But it feels so good when you're doing the gua sha because it just feels like a massage. Like, sometimes, you know, when you get a massage and it hurts a little bit, because you're getting like deep into the tissues and shit. But after the massage is over, you feel like so relaxed. And that's how the gua sha feels on my forehead. My earphone is dying. I kind of don't know if I want to do the other face mask. I kind of don't think I do. We've already been here for 45 minutes. And I really have not talked about anything. But I had fun. So, I saw this guy at the store. And I didn't connect with him. But it's like maybe I could have, but I wasn't open. I wasn't open because I didn't have on a bra, which there's nothing wrong with not having a bra. Doesn't make you unworthy of love, obviously, but there's a time and place for me to be in a flirty mood. And when I just threw on my old Fleetwood Mac t-shirt and my biker shorts that have holes in them, today's not the day. I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the mood to flirt. I'm here to get snacks. And so it wasn't until I left the Circle K full of men that I realized, like, holy shit, that was an opportunity. I received from my guides, you don't have to get on a dating app. You can just leave your house more often to run errands. And then I was sent on an errand. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. And then I woke up in the morning all fucking confused. Because I woke up in the morning wanting to be with the love of my life. And then feeling like something was missing and something was lacking in my energy field. Like, when I thought about like casually dating and stuff, you gotta think about people's like energy, you know? And sometimes, because different people have different energy and they bring that energy into your life. And I'm not saying that some people's energy is like disastrous energy and they're gonna ruin everything, which like they could bring chaos into your life. But I don't necessarily mean that. I just mean like, I don't like everybody's energy. And I don't like everybody in my house. And I don't like everybody around me. And I don't like to talk to everybody. How do you want to be a casual dater and you don't like anybody? Like, make it make sense. I just really started thinking, like, this man, this guy's energy, the guy who may or may not be the man that God anointed to be my husband, okay? That's the best that you're getting from me on the situation. If he did, great, amazing, wonderful. If he didn't, okay. It's like I keep getting all of these signs and all of these things pointing me in the energy of this man. It's crazy. And this man's energy is really, really good. Like, I could fall asleep in it. You know what I mean? He has really good energy. And so you think about the energy that this man has, and I mean like the energy of his soul. And then you think about the energy of strangers, not because they're strangers, but just the energy of different men. Like the man at the gas station, he was giving an energy, maybe even a physically attractive energy, but he was not giving energy that I could go to sleep in, because I feel so comfortable and safe and soothed in your energy, you know? I know I said I wasn't going to do that. I know I said I wasn't going to do that. But sometimes, for your lymph nodes, you know, sometimes girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do for a little lymph node drainage, okay? Sometimes a girl's gotta do what a girl's gotta do for a little lymph node drainage. And we're gonna pray that my black ass genetics are still working. Save me, blackness. Save me, blackness. That is my anti-aging plan B. If the gua sha, if the retinol, if the facial massages, if the prayer does not work, plan B, at the end of the day, you're black. No further comments. No further comments at this time. That's my backup plan. Okay. Well, this was fun. It wasn't as structured as the last one because I really didn't have that much to say. But I have been like missing you guys, you know, missing creating content, talking to you guys. Like, what's the hot goss, you know? And that's kind of the hot goss. The hot goss is like, I don't know if you can gua sha your upper lip. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? What else do you want to talk about? I've been realizing more and more how beautiful and gorgeous I am. I can't get over it. What am I doing? What are you doing? Okay. Because on the one hand, there's this. I love flirting. I love being flirted with. I think it's amazing. I'm great at it. And it's a skill that I don't really utilize all that often because I stay in my house a lot and don't really have opportunities for it when I leave my house. So I think what I'm gonna do, the idea that I have in my head, is that I'm gonna get dressed up and then I'm gonna like go out to a bar. I'm gonna get dressed up and then I'm gonna go out to a bar. And then I'm gonna meet a man at the bar, at least one. And he's gonna buy me drinks and we'll flirt. And maybe we'll go out. Am I just describing casual dating? And that's that. But I don't think that we'll make love. And it's so interesting because I have a lot of fifth house energy. And so with people who have fifth house energy, every time you're watching an astrology video or reading an article, book, whatever, they're like, fifth housers, people with Jupiter in the fifth house, they love to have casual sex and they have so many partners and blah, blah, blah. And it just doesn't manifest that way for me. I surprisingly still do not have the desire to share my body with a whole bunch of random people. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. It doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't make me feel loved. It doesn't make me feel cherished. It doesn't make me feel anything. And afterwards, it's like when I explore the idea in my imagination, afterwards, I just feel empty inside. Like, that's so, like, it's so much more maybe dramatic than I expected that to come out. But I just think, like, I just feel empty inside. And I'm understanding and I'm recognizing that maybe you don't just want a forehead kiss from just anyone. Like, obviously, they would be handsome. Obviously, they would be successful. Obviously, you know, like, whatever. Obviously, I would have to be attracted to them. But when I think about who I want a forehead kiss from, when I think about the random man that smelled like the strongest weed I've ever smelled in my life, can I imagine that man forehead kissing me? No. What if he was taller? Sometimes you have to explore these things in your mind, because what if it's the man and not the forehead kiss? I'm thinking. So it turns out I'm being silly. The answer is, I'm gonna post a video that says casual dating, and then the next day I'm gonna post another video that says casual dating not for me. A part of me was scared, because what if I get my soulmate and I get married and then I only have sex with one person for the rest of my life? What if I want to do it with other people? What if I want to experience that? And honestly, I'm starting to understand. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I am a woman of meaning. I'm a woman of purpose. And I'm not saying that casual sex can't have a purpose, but I'm a woman of connection. I'm a woman of knowing someone. I'm a woman of knowing somebody's soul. At the beginning of this video, I talked about the guy from the incident and his ancestors, who are not my biggest fans. But if I was his ancestor, then I would be my biggest fan, because MF, you needed somebody to call you out on your bullshit. Let's start there. Let's begin there. Matter of fact, that's the problem with your lineage. Can I talk my shit? Matter of fact, that's the reason why y'all are where you are in the world. Because if it was me, because if I was his ancestor, yeah, I'd send me back into his. I'd be like, you know what? And what is she doing? What is she doing right now, and how can I get her to come back? Apologize. And I'm hearing the song You Needed Me by Brianna in my head. Matter of fact, but that's not the point. The point is, I had that experience with this guy's ancestors who just like were not my biggest fan. And it's not like, oh my God, it was like, you know, Romeo and Juliet. Spirits just duking it out. Like, it was not like that, but it just didn't make me feel good. And then I have this other experience, and the way that I have dreams of this guy's family, the way that I connect with this guy's family, like on an ancestral level, the way that there is like peace and harmony between us, like in the spirit realm, it's like two families that are already moving in the same direction. I'm not just like talking in general, I'm talking about like, I'm talking like big picture shit, future of fucking humanity type shit, future generations type shit. Two families that are just moving in the same direction, creating the same thing, having very similar intentions and purposes. There is such a strong sense of compatibility and alignment. Alignment is the way that I would describe it. Having this experience, having this connection, having this, it's like okay, put a pin in that, and I'm gonna come back to it. Yesterday, when there was a baby lizard, crawling on my back, sick shit. Yesterday, when there was a baby lizard that was crawling on my back, stop saying it. Don't repeat the phrase anymore, because I will get sick. I feel violated. Like, oh my God. Yesterday, after yesterday's incident, I felt such a sense of like neglect, you know? Just an awareness of the things that I don't have. I don't have a man to clean my pool. I don't have a man to come and get this lizard out of my room. And with that feeling of lack, from that feeling of lack, I just felt like, how can I meet this need that I have? Which is totally valid, and you have needs, and your needs should get met, period, point blank. And I'm gonna talk more about that. Well, no, I can talk more about that now. Simple solution, make guy friends. You don't have to make love with them. You can form genuine, authentic connection with them, and then you can call them in the event of an emergency. Excuse me. The burp came out of me. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Mercury retrograde in Virgo, bitch. Oh my God. Let's move on. So, you can make friends with men, and they can take care of you and they can support you, and you don't have to make love to them, because that's really my ultimate desire. I do not want to make love to several men. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. It's not my desire. And I think one of the reasons why we think it's our desire, well, one of the reasons why I thought it was my desire was because that was the culture that I grew up in, that hookup culture. I'm seeing this guy, I'm dating this guy, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. My girlfriends were very promiscuous girls, nothing wrong with it, nothing to be ashamed of. But it's like being friends with fucking Carrie Bradshaw or Samantha, I don't know what the fuck her last name is. And it just seems exciting and cool, and oh my God, you guys hooked up in the backseat of your car, and like, like, oh my God, like this is just so exciting and like so thrilling. And a lot of these stories I'm hearing when I'm like a teenager in high school and stuff, you know, they were older than me. So I'm having this experience with these women, and they are, you know, having their moments of promiscuity and all of that good stuff. And it just like sounds so cool, and it sounds so awesome. And, you know, and then it's like, from my perspective today, it doesn't seem fun. It doesn't seem fun. And now we come full circle, because I can bring up the point that I paused earlier. I felt like this man wasn't meeting my needs, which, yes, I could have done some scripting around getting my needs met now, manifesting, blah, 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 which is, things that are obviously inevitably happening. But it's almost like I had this, like it took me a second. Sometimes you have to take the long route there. Sometimes you have to take the long route of exploring your options to come back to the conclusion that you want what you originally thought that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? It's like so many loose ends mentally just got like taken care of over the course of 24 hours, When I think about this man's energy, and I think about his being, and I think about his spirit, and I think about his family, like his spirit family, and I think about how much that soothes me and supports me and lifts me up and lights me up, and then I think about connecting with somebody else in that particular way. It's like I think about connecting with somebody else in like a different way. It's like, how am I trying to explain this? Oh, I feel like my words are just not coming out the way that I want my words to come out, and it's really pissing me off. What I'm trying to say is that the idea and concept of making love to someone whose ancestors I don't know, it's a silly way to say it, but the idea and concept of making love to somebody whose ancestors I don't know seems ridiculous to me. Like a terrible time. Connecting with somebody in such an intimate way who I don't plan to have in my life for a long period of time. Connecting with somebody in such a close, intimate way for like instant gratification of something now without thinking of the consequences and repercussions afterwards. Like, if you give a mouse a cookie, he's gonna want some milk. When I think about my desire for love and connection and being taken care of and being supported, I think about that desire in the long term. I think about that desire experiencing it consistently for the rest of my life. The idea and concept of getting into a relationship or entering into a connection with someone with the intention of not having them in my life for a long period of time, that just doesn't resonate with my spirit. That doesn't resonate with who I am as a person. I don't do it in any instance, in any way, shape, or form. In terms of friendships, the relationships that I'm building, the people that I'm reaching out to, the women-owned businesses, yes, the female entrepreneurs that I'm building connections with and relationships right now, the moves that I'm making in my business, the business connections that I am building and working on. I'm not thinking about, this is what I want to do this month. I'm thinking, could I see myself being their friend 50 years down the line? Could I see my children calling them auntie, whatever her name is? If I could not see you being in my life long term, if I could not see you knowing my future children, if I could not see us being, close friends and girlfriends into our 80s, having discussions about what our 20s and 30s and 40s were like when we originally met each other. Like, I want friends who are going to speak at my funeral, which is so, like, Scorpio morbid. I want friends that I'm going to speak at their funeral. I want friends that I'm going to do life with. I want partners that I'm going to do life with. That's who I am. I'm a for lifer. Like, you can change your identity, but is that something about myself that I want to change? No. And I've always been that way. I remember in high school, I was having a conversation with a friend, and I need to get up to get my face soap because I really need to wash my face to get that oil off before I do the retinol. Do you think I could put retinol over it? Do you think I could just do a little wipey? Just a little wipey, you know what I'm saying? Do you think? I don't know. I hope nobody watching this is like a professional gua sha lady going, oh my God, you're ruining your face. Because I'm sorry. But it feels good to me. And that's really all that matters at this point. What was I just saying? What I was saying was so important to me too. What just came out of my fucking mouth? The answer is, I don't know. Lifelong friends are important to me. I'm a lifelong relationship person. Could I change it? Yes, I could. Do I want to change it? No, I don't. When I was in high school, very good. I remember. When I was in high school, I need to get up. No, I don't need to get up. I can't get up because I'm naked. Where's my toilet paper? So when I was in high school, I was friends with this girl, and I was over her house and we were hanging out, and I was talking about the future, and we were talking about like the far off future. So like 10 years from when we were, 16, 17 years old. I do need to wash my face. There's like remnants from my mask on my skin. Okay. So we were talking about, hold on. I just need to concentrate for like 5 seconds. Yes, I do need to wash my face. Okay. So I was hanging out with this girl that I went to high school. We were in high school. I'm almost there. I'm finding it. I was hanging out with this girl. I was in high school, and we were talking about the future. When we're like 27, 28, 32, far off into the future. And I said something along the lines of like us being friends and still knowing each other, and like, what are we going to be like? What are we going to be doing? What are we, like, And she was a fucking bitch. And I'm grateful that we're not friends anymore. She was a Scorpio. I am a Scorpio rising. So obviously we come in a multitude of shapes and sizes, But she was just really fucking rude for no fucking reason. Anyway. And she just basically was like, I don't see us being friends in the future. And I just was like, oh. Or I don't remember what the conversation was, but at the end of the conversation, it was just clear. It had been made explicitly clear that I was considering us I considered us lifelong friends. She did not consider us lifelong friends. And she just said it like it was such a casual thing. And it was one of those like pessimistic Scorpio, people grow apart, people don't stay in relationships forever. We're in high school, we're young, who knows where life is gonna take us. Like, just weird depressing shit. Like boring, old, tired, come up with something else, So that I remember us having that conversation. And I remember that conversation because during our conversation right now, I'm realizing about myself. I'm a long haul person. I am a lifelong person. I am a long-term relationship person. The friends that I have in my life, I can count them on one hand. They are friends that I will have until the end of time. I'm expanding my friendship. I'm expanding my network, the people in my network, the people that I'm forming relationships with. I see very long potential for friendships with. So it's not just a romantic thing, like, oh my God, I'm a girl and I need to have a husband. Even though if that's what it was, then that would be okay. And nobody's gonna beat my ass if that's what it was. Like, you know what I mean? It's fine, but I'm just understanding this about who I am, like fundamentally in my heart and in my soul. That's just who I am. I am a future focused person. I have a vision and a dream for my life. And as I think about that vision and dream for my life, as people are coming into my life, I'm asking myself, how do they fit in the greater plan and the greater vision? And at the end of the day, if you do not fit in the greater plan and the greater vision, you're not going to make the cut. Like, that's really how I feel. That's really how I live. So the idea of casual dating, the idea of forming relationships with people, knowing that you're not going to have them for a long period of time. You know, there are some people, fake spiritual people. I said what the fuck I said. There are some people who are like, people are not possessions. I'm a Scorpio. I think they are. Whatever. They're like, people are not possessions. We don't own anyone. They're just someone for us to experience for a period of time. And when we're done experiencing those people, then they leave. And I think you're out of your fucking mind. And obviously I'm joking, and I don't actually think that people who think like that are out of their minds, but that's not how I'm living. That's not how I'm living. That's not how I'm living. You're in my life today. You're going to be in my life 50 years from now. And if you're in my life today and you're not going to be in my life 50 years from now, then you will not be in my life tomorrow. And that's just how I live. That's just who I am. That's just the life that I'm choosing to create. I'm somebody who's always thinking about the future. I'm somebody who's always thinking about where I'm going. I'm somebody who's always thinking about the bigger vision. And those things are important to me. It's important to me that I can, you know, talk with my friends and reminisce about the things that we were doing and the way that we were living 5 years ago, and, you know, just seeing the growth and expansion of a person. You think that people are things for you to experience, but you're not experiencing people and you don't know them for a long period of time. You're just tasting them like it's a buffet, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's how you want to live. But I am more of like an 8-course girly, where I want to know you. I want to understand you. I want to watch you grow and expand and evolve as a human being. I can look at my friends and I can observe how they have changed over the years, how they've become more confident, how they become more free. I have a friend who is a business owner. She's a content creator, and she's becoming more confident in herself and her body over the years, showing her body more in videos, dancing, being more free, expressing herself, watching her channel grow, watching her, you know, TikTok and Instagram grow, and watching her do amazing things and travel and move into that new apartment and just build community of her own. Like, that's such a special thing to experience, and it's special to watch somebody's journey, and it's special to observe somebody's journey. And I've talked about this before somewhere on my platform, just the power of being observed, the power of, you know, having somebody who has held space for you in a way, held space for your life. It's kind of like, if you don't have people in your life that have been there for a long period of time, have you been known? Have you been understood? And that's one of the reasons why I'm so incredibly close to my ancestors, not just because they're my family and they're my blood, but from the beginning of my journey, from my first tarot reading, well, I really wasn't connecting with them then, but obviously they were there. From the beginning of my life, they were there. My spirit guides were there. So when I'm thinking and I'm reminiscing and I'm thinking about the shit that was going on when I was 7 years old, the other day I'm pretty sure that I was high. I don't know what was going on, okay? Just Leo season. And I was in my room, I'm listening to music, and I was just like, I was just like in a mood, like a silly, goofy mood, okay? So I'm in this silly, goofy mood, and I'm like listening to music, and I'm like dancing around in my room, and then I get this impulse to start jumping on my bed. Which I didn't. It wouldn't have been a crime if I did, but I just got this impulse and this desire to start jumping on my bed. And the reason why that was so funny, adorable, wonderful is because when I was a little girl, that's like something that I would do all of the time. I would put music on my headphones and I would jump around on my mom's bed because she had like a king size bed, which for a kid is like the size of fucking Texas. So I'd be in our room because I shared a room with my mom at this place that we lived. And so I'd be in our room and I'd have my little pink iPod Nano shuffle, little iPod shuffle that has a little clip. My mom actually still has it and listens to it. I think it's the one that I had. I don't remember. But anyway, so I'd have my little my little shuffle, whatever, and I have my headphones in, and I'm in this room, and I'm jumping on this bed, and I'm dancing, and I'm having the time of my life, and I'm like doing somersaults and flips and shit on the fucking bed because, you know, I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. And so the other day when I got the impulse to jump on my bed, it just like that girl is alive. That girl is alive within me. That innocence and that purity and that like love for life and that ability to create fun and joy and play wherever I go. It's alive within me. And so I have that moment and I think about that, and then I'm in constant contact and communication with my ancestors. So it's just kind of like, isn't that fucking crazy, you guys? Like, she became me and I'm in love with the woman that I'm becoming. Like, I don't have the words to describe it. It's just beautiful and it's just sacred. And when I win in my business, when I succeed in my business, when I have moments where I'm super confident and I'm like talking all of my shit because I really am top tier and I really am number one and like all of this amazing shit, and I think about how I felt 5 years ago when I started my business, and I think about how insecure I was and how afraid I was to speak my mind and, you know, share my ideas. What if people don't agree? I'm afraid to share my courses because what if it doesn't help people? What if they waste their money? And me being like, me today, now being like, women need this shit and it's so amazing, and my work was made to transform the lives of women, and I support women in leading, and like all of these ways that I've been changing and growing and expanding. It's like, my ancestors, my spirits see every single thing that happens behind the scenes, the things that didn't make it to social media, the moments where I was sitting in this bathroom, sitting on that toilet. Well, I think we've got a new toilet in recent years. I don't know. I was in this bathroom on some toilet and I was crying, feeling like I should quit my business. I made the worst mistake in my life. And my ancestors came to me in this bathroom on this toilet and they're like, excuse me, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? What is your name? Like, literally. And me having that moment on the toilet, wiping my own tears, being like, I'm Natalie Annalise motherfucking Hughes. Full stop. And then we keep going and we fucking persist. Like, I'm such a sentimental fucking person. I'm such a sentimental person. One of the reasons why I'm the closest to my ancestors is because they fucking know. They see all of the things that nobody fucking saw. They know what it took to get here. They know the fucking work that it took to get here. They know the courage that it took to get here. They know the support that I needed to get here. Every single choice and decision. Like, everything. Traveling across the country, the freaking out because I didn't think that I was going to make enough money for gas for the next Airbnb, blah, 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 blah. I think I'm going to have to sleep in my car tonight. Like, every fucking thing. Crying over taxes, terrified that my business is failing. It's just every fucking thing. I'm close to you because you know me. because you have been with me, because you have observed me go through this transformation. You have observed me move through life. You know me, you see me, you understand me, you get me. That's love, that's connection, that's closeness, that's intimacy, that's like sacredness. And I can't do anything else. I can't have anything else. I can't have connection with somebody who is approaching a relationship from the perspective that they don't want to know me. Maybe they want to know me, but they don't want to stick around. They don't want to know my soul. They don't want to know my vision. They don't want to know my goals. They don't want to know what I'm working towards. They don't want to be there for that. Like, that's not worth it to me. That's not worth it to me. Am I still manifesting somebody coming and handling my pool? Yes, I am. I also don't even know if I was serious about that. I don't know if I was serious about that. Like the entire time, like I was serious about the casual dating thing, but I don't know how serious I am about wanting a man to do my pool. Like sometimes doing the pool is okay. Sometimes I have to say, because right now I'm in my follicular phase. So brushing the pool and getting the fucking leaves out, like it doesn't really seem like that big of a deal to me. It doesn't seem like something that I have to actually put energy and effort into manifesting a man into my life to handle. But when that luteal phase hits, so I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that at the end of the month. I might change my mind. But for now, I'm great. I feel good. So it's like, sometimes you'll get this if you have Gemini placements. Sometimes you just talk to talk. And sometimes you don't know how serious you are about something until you say it out loud. And then you're like, no, that's not how I feel. But I had to try, you know? So I said all of that to say, I don't think I'll be casually dating, but I will be casually flirting. What even is casual dating? I think I'll be getting out of my house more. I think I will be flirting more because I like flirting. Flirting is okay. I think flirting is okay. I think flirting is harmless. I think flirting is the greatest thing in the world and I'm really good at it. And I just think it's good for everybody involved, especially me, because I, as a woman, as a human being, do need to be told that I'm perfect 5 times a day. Absolutely. So I am opening up my heart for more instances of wonderful, shameless flirting, support. You know what? That's kind of the relationship with men that I already have. You know what? And I might have just took up 5 hours of our time. Today's video, yesterday's video included. To recognize it's possible that my desire is for my relationship with men to stay exactly the same. It's good. It's good. My relationship with men is really good right now. So my new plan, I'm going to relish in the relationship that I have with men now. That's what I'm doing. I'm not calling a multitude of men into my life. I'm going to relish in the relationship that I have with men now. And should a man who would become a really good long-term friend of mine come into my life, and he also be a man that would like to come to my house to brush my pool, and he also was a man that I could call to get a lizard out of my room, then that would be fabulous. So I'm putting that out there. And I'm letting it go. But other than that, like, you're already doing that. Well, not enough. Not enough. So one thing that I'm going to add to the plan is getting out of the house more. She needs to get out of the house. She needs to go to a bar. I don't think that she wants to go to a club. I don't think she has the desire to go to a club. She can go to a bar. She can go to a lounge. Maybe she can go to like Las Vegas or something. Well, I'm thinking Las Vegas. I'm thinking Los Angeles. She needs to go to a loss someplace, okay? She needs to take a little trip, have a little fun, flirt a little bit, be highly complimented. Yeah, that's what she needs. That's what she needs. That's what she needs. Because I care more about long-term shit. And at no point with the guy who, if he is my highest level soulmate and we get married, amazing, wonderful, love it. If he's not, then it's okay. I'm not gonna die. I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would survive. As long as I know how to love, I know I'll stay alive, you know? Like, I would be okay. But what I will say is that I now have an awareness of the work that I need to do, because I just recognized that there was a little bit of resistance. Like, normally I would experience a moment of contrast in a relationship in terms of a manifestation of anything, and then I would just start scripting, journaling, doing the work to get myself on the other side. What is it that you want in the situation? But this particular time, I kind of needed to take a longer route because I thought maybe I wanted something else. But there was something that I was avoiding by not just doing the journaling work. And there was a fear of intimacy that I was experiencing. And so I was going to the casual thing, because if I went the casual route, then I wouldn't have to look at this part of me that was avoiding intimacy. But then I realized that I want intimacy and closeness. So now I have to look at this part of me that's been avoiding intimacy. And I already worked on that part of me. Not before this video, it's just that everything is clicking into place. I talked about in the last video, my ancestors speaking to me through this photo of my family, like 3 generations back. My grandmother's mother, my great grandmother. A picture of my great grandmother, her husband, his sister, and her 11 kids. Literally, she had 5 children. So adorable. Like, I know that my grandma and like my great aunts and uncles are like in the bunch. Those kids are so cute. Like, oh my God. I want to reach back in time. I want to take them. I want to raise them, and I want to pour all of my love and my soul and my heart into them. Do you understand what I'm saying? They are adorable, adorable. So I look at this photograph, I'm learning a lot about my family. I'm learning about unhealthy, toxic relationship patterns in my family. And this relationship between my great-grandmother and grandfather was the beginning, the genesis. That's a word that's been coming up for me. Genesis, Genesis, Genesis. You are the Genesis. I am the Genesis, the beginning of a new cycle in my lineage, like powerful shit. But this was also another Genesis, the beginning of a cycle of women in relationships with unsafe men. And I don't think it was the beginning, like the very first, but it's almost like this is where it comes from. This experience is where it comes from. Teal Swan talks about this. She's the first person who's told me about this. We know generational trauma. We know generational curses. We know generational patterns. But very specifically, Teal Swan talks about this concept of like an ancestral alliance. Something happened to your ancestors years ago where rich people really fucked them over. And then there was an ancestral alliance that was created that said, we're going to be poor forever because fuck rich people. And that's the reason why you're really struggling with poverty today, because ancestrally in your fucking DNA there is a vow to be poor. We will never be like those rich people that did that to us, right? So there's like this ancestral experience. I have had experiences where, and it's so crazy because I recently did a reading for somebody who is like related to me, not super closely related, but related enough that my great grandmother would have also been maybe their great grandmother or great aunt, but probably their great grandmother too, right? So not like a cousin related to me through one of my mother's siblings, but like a cousin, like a daughter's, like a cousin's daughter, you know? So anyway, in that reading, I told her that she experiences what I also experienced. I didn't know that that's what I experienced, but I told it to her, and then things just started clicking and making sense. So let me just tell you, I have had experiences where I have been triggered, like sometimes something happens when you've experienced a trauma. The smell of somebody's cologne, a specific location, you know, different things can trigger you. And when you smell that cologne, it's like you are taken back to that place. There have been moments where I have been triggered around traumatic experiences that I did not live. Are you understanding what I'm saying? There have been moments where I have been triggered around traumatic experiences of being really badly hurt by men that I did not live. Like with the man from the incident, when I was getting to know him, I don't like saying falling in love, but she was falling in love, respect her and respect her experience, you know? When I was falling in love with the guy from the incident, I had visions of him being really, really abusive towards me. There is a very big thing going on in the back of my mind that said, this man is unsafe, this man is unsafe, this man is unsafe, this man is unsafe, this man is unsafe. Now, I was correct, he is unsafe. So it's like, yes, that worked, that saved me, that protected me, that fear saved me, and it protected me from continuing a cycle that my great grandmother lived. I looked at this picture and it was crazy. First of all, it's a picture that I've seen. It's been on this iPad that I got from my mother for years. It's a picture that I've seen before. And every single time I look at my great grandfather's face, it was like it stands out, like, whoa, like it's very clear that that man was a Scorpio. It's so incredibly clear. Whenever you learn about Scorpios, you hear about the eyes, blah, blah, blah. This man was a Scorpio. If he wasn't a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, I'll eat a fucking bug, okay? This man was a Scorpio down. Like, so incredibly obvious. The handsome man, but his eyes, it looks like he's fucking alive in the goddamn picture. I'm not kidding. On some Harry Potter shit. It looks like if you look at that picture for long enough, that man is gonna start moving alive. So I've looked at the picture before. I've seen it before. But when I saw it, why are you talking like that? When I've seen the picture in the past, I skipped through it. This is something that makes me uncomfortable to look at. Looking into that man's eyes is something that makes me uncomfortable to do. Looking at this picture makes me uncomfortable. Something about the other night, looking at that picture, I started looking at it. I started analyzing it. What is it about this man? What is it about this man's eyes? What is it that's going on here that is making me feel so drawn in? And I start getting like, maybe I can psychically pick up what's happening here. I am able to pick up what's going on in their life experience just by looking at this picture. First, it's this man's eyes because it's weird. It's a picture. It's like a family portrait. Everybody looks sad. It's like there's two layers to it. And I don't think that I'll ever show it because it's so like sacred, but I will describe it to you. So it's almost like there's two levels. So there's my great grandmother and she's sitting in a chair, and I'm smiling because I attached a lot of happiness and a lot of good feelings to it last night. We had this like whole fucking moment, me and my ancestors. But anyway, so my great grandmother, she's sitting on a chair and she has this little baby on her lap. And then there's another little baby boy right here. He's not a baby. He's like 4 years old. I don't know, they're small kids. So there's another little baby boy right here, and then there's an adorable baby girl right there. She's like 6. She's like, you know, older. She's like not one of the younger siblings, but she's like right there. And I think that's my grandmother, but I'm not sure, and I have to ask to be sure. So then there's a little girl right there, and she's like making a silly face, and I'm like, I think that's my grandma, but I don't know. And then there's a little boy right here, and then there's another little boy right here who kind of looks like my grandfather. It was not, they did not, my grandfather and grandmother were not related, but he kind of looks like my grandfather. And I just look at this kid, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, it looks like looking at my future son. Like, don't ask me how I know. It just looks like looking at a picture of my future son. So there's like these kids, and they're there, grandma's here, and then there's a man right here, and he's standing, great-grandfather, and then there's a young woman right here who is my great-grandfather's sister. So she's great-aunt, great-great-great-aunt, great-great-aunt, great-great-aunt, yeah, great-great-aunt, my great-great-aunt, great-great-grandpa, no, great-grandpa, great-great-aunt, right? Yes, it is my great-aunt, because my grandma's sister is my great-aunt. So it's my great-great-aunt. So my great-great-aunt is right here, and my great-great-grandpa is right here. My you get it. So it's like there's levels. There's people who are living up here in the picture, and there's people who are living down here in the picture. And the look on my great-grandmother's face, she looks like she's in pain. She looks like she's in emotional pain. Like her eyebrows are like this. But we kind of have different facial features. She kind of has like a round face like me. She kind of has like more of a round face than I do. And she's so beautiful, but she looks sad. She looks sad. She looks broken. And you look at the kids, and I mean, they're poor, but they look sad. They look sad. It's a picture. Nobody's smiling. None of the kids are smiling. And you look at their eyes, and they look sad. And it makes me cry. Because I just want to grab them from 100 million fucking years ago, and I just want them to be my kids, you know? So, boom. And I think about, we're not getting there yet. So there's that. And then my great-grandfather is there, and he has these piercing eyes, and they're kind of like off-putting. Sometimes Scorpio energy can come across as like creepy. Sometimes Scorpio energy is like, oh my God, you are so sexy. I need to like get closer and closer to you. You know what I mean? Like, I desire you so much. And sometimes Scorpio energy, Plutonic energy, is a little bit creepy, crawly. I think I want to get out of here. I don't think I like this very much. So his eyes, his face, it's like he's handsome when you look at him, but you don't really want to look at him that much because his eyes, they're a little bit creepy. They're very large, like they're protruding from his skull. And it's just intense. His eyes are intense. They're very full of life, but they're not full of life like my eyes. My eyes are full of life, and they're full of like happy life and like enjoyment of life. And like, oh my God, like, yay, I am a fucking character from a Disney content movie. And like, I'm so happy. Like, that's my eyes, right? But his eyes are not alive like that, alive. They're alive. They're full of something, but it's not Disney princess fairy tale. So I'm looking at the facial features, and I'm looking, like I'm trying to read these people. What is your story? What's going on here? And it's like his eyes and his mouth. It's like he's smirking, but he's not. It's like he looks satisfied. He looks happy. And the woman next to him, his sister, she also kind of has that look of satisfaction and happy. These people experience more happiness and more joy than the 6 people that are on this part of the portrait. These faces, sad. These faces, they're not sad. They're satisfied and almost like a sadistic energy. Like really fucking intense. Really fucking like, I'm in my room bugging the fuck out, talking to my ancestors. What the fuck is going on? What is this story here? What am I seeing? What am I feeling? I'm getting so much. I'm understanding so much. Just receiving so much about what that family dynamic was like, what that was like for my great-grandmother, the life that she lived, the way that she felt, and the consequences of that. The grandmother that I had, which we were not very close, she passed away when I was like in the 4th grade or something. And even before that, we were not close because she and my mother were not very close. And my grandmother used to beat the fuck out of her kids. They grew up in like a really, really abusive household. And so there's a lot of chaos and there's a lot of conflict. And then there's drama in my grandparents' relationship. And so I think about the way that my grandmother grew up and the way that she treated her children, her babies, her family. And then I think about my other aunt, my Aunt Flossie, my grandmother's sister. And we would go and visit her in Los Angeles. And it's not a retirement home. What is that called? Like an old people facility? Maybe a retirement home. But when you think of retirement homes, you think maybe like 50s, 60s, 70s somethings. They each got their own individual house. It's a community. It wasn't like that. It was like a building in Los Angeles, kind of like a hospital-ish type thing. You know, there's a little area where there's like a kind of cafeteria type thing. You go into a room. It's kind of like a hospital-ish-y room. There's a couple beds inside of one room, you know? So sometimes she had roommates when we'd go to visit her. Sometimes she didn't. And I remember when we would go to visit her, she wasn't always the most like lucid. And my grandma also, she had dementia. I don't know if my Auntie Flossie had dementia, but we would go and we would visit her. And I remember one time we went and visited her, and I was a teenager, maybe in high school, maybe like 14, 15, maybe 16, probably definitely not 17, you know, 12 to 15. So we go and we visit her, and she kept telling to me, it wasn't like there was like hate in her voice. It was like maybe like a joke. But she kept saying to me over and over and over again, she kept saying to me, you don't do anything but eat and be lazy all of the time, huh? I don't remember exactly quote unquote, but that's basically what it was. Just again and again and again, she kept saying to me, you don't do anything but eat and be lazy. And it was like it wasn't like she was angry at me, she's lashing out at me, she's upset with me. It's like she would say it and then she would laugh. And then minutes pass by and then she says it again and she laughs. It's like a thing that's coming constantly. And I realized looking back, I don't look exactly like my ancestors, but you can kind of maybe notice some similarities, like my cheekbones, my mother's side of the family, like cheekbones, definitely. So it's like, looking at the picture, we don't fall out of the coconut tree, existing within the context. And I think to myself, the way that she was talking to me, I feel like that's something that somebody was saying to her that she didn't process, that she didn't move through, that she internalized. And it sounds, fuck the way that it sounds, it's what I know. It's It's what I feel. It's the shit that just makes sense to me. It's the shit that's so fucking obvious to me. And then you think about it in like the grand scheme of things, the big picture of things. And it's like, of course we went to Los Angeles, and of course we connected with her. And of course she said that to me, because 10 fucking years later, after she is gone and passed on and one of my ancestors now, I would have these realizations, I would see this picture, I would understand this, I would come to these conclusions because I inherited the trauma that they experienced, that they did not move through. My grandparents had a very tumultuous relationship. My grandfather was abusive to my grandmother, verbally, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, not physically that I know of, but still. He would make jokes about her negatively in front of other people and put her down. He never did this in front of me. My grandfather is like my favorite man on planet Earth. So imagine how we feel. Imagine how my earth is fucking shattered when you learn that the man who treated you with such adoration, love, kindness, and care all of your life growing up could treat your grandmother in this way. We, as the grandchildren, we thought grandma and grandpa's relationship, that's what you aspire to. Married for like 50 million fucking years until death did them part. And it was not glitter and rainbows and shit. It was traumatic, and I can't say everything that I know because yes, a part of it is my story and a part of it is my life, but also it's not my story to tell. So what I began to understand is that this idea, belief, fear of men gets passed down. Men are not safe. It's not safe to connect with men. It's not safe to be in relationships with men. It's not safe as a woman to ever be in a situation where you're reliant upon a man. And you got to think about it within the context. When were women allowed to have their own bank accounts? So many generations of women in my family were really reliant on men. My mother was not reliant on men. What happened with her? Not getting too much into the details. She swung the complete opposite direction. I don't need a man. I'm going to be a single mother. I'm going to raise my 3 kids by myself. I'm going to support us. I'm not going to have a man. She attracted feminine men. Feminine men do not trigger that fear of abuse. Not because feminine men can't be abusive and blah, blah, blah. We all know the whole nice guy to incel pipeline, but that's not what I'm saying. Feminine men do not trigger that wound, do not trigger that fear, because I can't rely on a feminine man. I don't rely on the feminine man to pay the bills. I don't rely on the feminine man to take care of me. I don't rely on the feminine man to be consistent. I take care of me, and this guy is just here for whatever I need him for. We're talking about my mother and father. We don't need to go there. So there's a fear that's passed down. There was, done, finito, bye-bye, adios. There was this fear, pattern, experience, this trauma passed down, this protective mechanism. Do not ever get in this situation again. Do not ever experience this kind of abuse and tyranny and bullshit ever again. Stay away from men. Get away from men. Do not let men come near you. Men are seriously fucking dangerous. I have had this fear, this part of me that has pushed away relationships, pushed away men completely. Because my mom didn't have the exact experience that they had, but there were some things. Me growing up seeing my parents, the experiences that I had with my own father, the experiences that I had with my own brother, who like has my great-grandfather's eyes, which the mind blowingness, the mind fuck that was to realize, the big eyes that I swear to God, I thought there was just an earthquake. There have been like 3 fucking earthquakes. There have been a million earthquakes. And I swear I just felt the earth move. I put these things together, made these things make sense, shifted a fuck ton of energy yesterday, cried so fucking much, processed, moved through, rearranged, and I'm trying to think of what the point of me bringing this up was. We talk about the photograph, we talk about the complete difference. They looked happier, like they were satisfied, like they were safe, like he and his sister were more closely connected than he was to my grandmother. And my grandmother had 5 kids, and like they were fucking Irish quadruplets, like one after the other. And my grandmother, one after the other. I can't have casual sex. I'm too fertile. I can't have casual sex. I'm too fertile, okay? Like, can we actually go there? It's too easy. Astrologically, my 5th house is packed. And I might not be a lover of casual sex, but I am a lover of children. And I just don't trust my uterus. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like she has her own intentions. I feel like she's like, yes, I love casual sex. Have casual sex right now. Yeah. It's so nice. What is this? A condom? Great idea. That's gonna work really well. Like, I don't understand it. I'm hearing the song Mastermind by Taylor Swift in my head. I feel like I have the vagina of a mastermind. And I don't trust her. Because in my mind, I know that if I were to get pregnant, I am pro-choice. Do whatever you like with your body. I love children so much. I'm not getting an abortion. It's not happening. Why would I even lie to you? And I'm not saying that the only reason you have an abortion is blah, 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 blah. I'm letting you know right now. I get pregnant, I'm keeping it. Bitch, I'm my mother, no drama. Just... So sometimes celibacy is the answer. That's not the point of me mentioning that. I'm talking about the photograph. I'm talking about the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm perceiving. I'm recognizing that there is an ancestral allegiance that has formed over many generations that says men are bad, men are evil, men are terrible, men are the most unsafe human beings on planet Earth. Stay as far as you possibly can from them. Do not ever let a man close to you. Do not ever let a man into your heart. Do not ever let a man into your body. Keep all men away. And how did that manifest? That manifested as me being rejected by a lot of men. Just because a man is doing the rejecting does not mean that it's not coming from within you, from a story that you're telling, from something you're experiencing, or something that you desire. There's a part of me that wanted to be rejected. There's a part of me that did not want to connect with men because I felt that men were deeply, deeply unsafe as a consequence of my lived experience, as a consequence of the lived experience of women all throughout my fucking family line. Like,